Welcome back. We had 4 games tonight in the NHL, so these are the 3 early ones, and I got a board right behind here with the 4th game on it. So we're going to go ahead and start things off talking about Seattle and New Jersey. So for the New Jersey Devils, honestly, their playoff dreams aren't nearly as dead as it may look. They're going to need to win some games here, but if Nico Daws can give them the goaltending they need, it can happen. So it was Decord versus Daws. A stretch pass to Jack Hughes, near miss there. The shots are 3-0 Seattle 3 minutes in. Marino exits after a crash into the boards. He would come back. We get a power play for Seattle. There's a shorthanded rush by Lazar. That power play is killed off. Kraken press after it's done, but then the Devils draw a power play. Nemitz was denied. Decord would hold on there. That power play is killed off as well. Then there's too many Kraken on the ice. The Devils with the power play. They score on this one. It's Toffoli with his 6th goal in 11 games. He scores from Hischier and Jack Hughes at 13:36. That's Hughes' first point since coming back from injury, and it was a one-timer from the high slot. The Devils then look for another. They're up 1-0 after one. Second period, early press by the Devils, and they would score. At 48 seconds, it's Jack Hughes, so he has a goal to go with the assist, and Howla with the assist on this one. Nosek to Holtz is then picked off. Devils have a 2-on-1 that misfires, but at 4:54 on a rush, Dawson Mercer scores from Meyer and Hataka. He buries a rebound on a rush. They also interviewed Mercer. I heard some Newfoundlander in his talk there. They do their best to try to hide it, but when he tries to say there and he says dare, I was like, that's Newfoundlander. Anyways, the Kraken look to respond. The shots are 9-0 for the Devils 8.5 minutes in. The Devils go to the power play. There's a kick save on Toffoli. The Devils score, but right away you could tell it was goalie interference. I think it was Howla that trips the goalie, and he just does one of these, and it's like, at least try to hide it. At least, look like, who, me? Like, come on, act a little bit. But anyways, yeah, no goal. Kraken then finish the kill. Devils go back to the power play. That one's killed off as well. Seattle's not getting shots late in this period either. 1:47 left. The Kraken get a power play, and I put killed there because, the 13 seconds to start the third, they're unlikely to score, and they don't. So, third period, with the Devils up 3-0. Schwartz has a rush chance that's held. We get a power play for the Devils. That's killed off. Shots are 4-3 for Seattle. 3.5 minutes in, we then get a power play for Seattle. Beniers has a shot that's held. It's killed off, and that Beniers shot was the only chance they had. But the Kraken would press, and at exactly 10 minutes, Will Borgen scores from Eberle and McCann. He wires that one from the top of the right circle. Devils press to respond. Eberle's denied and close. It's cleared out. The Kraken had the momentum in the second half. With 1:51 left, they pull the goalie. They don't get closer. Your final score is 3-1 for New Jersey. They go to 26-21-4 with the win. For Seattle, 21-21-10 with the loss. Shots on net, 12-7 New Jersey in the first, 17-8 New Jersey in the second, 13-8 Seattle in the third. Final shots, 37-28 for the Devils. Power plays, Seattle 0 for 3, New Jersey 1 for 5. Hits, 25-16 Seattle. Decord saves 34 out of 37. Nico Daws saved 27 out of 28 at the other end. So, entertaining game. And nice to see the Devils on the winning side of it. All right, next up, Calgary and the New York Rangers. So you had Brandon Tanev here and Chris Tanev here. Markstrom versus Shesterkin in this one. Good early back and forth. There's a power play for New York. A near miss for Lafreniere. That power play gets killed off. Wheeler has a one-timer that's held. Shillington had a chance that's caught and held. Lindgren's denied and close. It's cleared out. The Flames press at 8 minutes. Lafreniere has a near miss from the slot. Shots are 3 apiece with 9 minutes left. Rangers press with 8 minutes left. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4, and this game was very physical in that first period. A lot of hitting and a lot of dislike between the teams as well, so that's how you get some 4-on-4 action. Rangers press during the 4-on-4. Panarin's denied. Kreider then has a net drive that's defended by Chris Tanev. He hit the net too. Didn't look like that was a lot of fun. Flames press in the final minute. Lafreniere has a rush chance. That's held. It's 0-0 after one. Second period. There's a pad save on a rush by Wheeler. Fox has a shot that's blocked as the Rangers press. A post for Zeri on a rush. So for a low-scoring game, there was a lot of chances in this. This was a really fun game to watch. Mangiapane has a rush chance that's saved. Kadri has a net drive that's blocked. Crossbar and out for Goodrow. Things get punchy at 8:51. A lot of punching, and the Flames emerge with a power play, which Ranger fans were cool with. Laviolette was cool with it. He wasn't. But 18 seconds later, it became 4-on-4. So that might have made them feel a little better. Everything gets killed off there. Rangers press with 8.5 minutes left, and basically, they do end up getting a goal. It's a rush that leads to this Cooley on what I think was like the third attempt to get it in. I think it was his second shot to get it in. He buries it. Kakko and Brodzinski with the assists at 12:31, so it's 1-0 Rangers. We get a power play for Calgary. Uyghur's denied from the slot. That's killed off. Kreider misfires on a 2-on-1 rush. Shellington has a screenshot. That's held. But yeah, it's 1-0 Rangers after 2. Third period, Sharon Govich fires one wide on a rush. The Flames press at 2.5 minutes. Shots are 2-1 Calgary 4 minutes in. Flames have a 2-on-1. That's defended. And then the Rangers had a 3-on-2 that was broken up the other way. Near miss for Trocheck on another 3-on-2. Miller has a shot that's held as the Rangers press. Mangiapane's robbed on a rush. We get a power play for New York. That's killed off. Keandre Miller then goes end-to-end, ends up being denied on a fast break. Heavy pressure by the Flames with 2.5 minutes left. They pull the goalie with 1:35 left. And in the end, VC hits the empty net at 19:42 to make your final score 2-0. Tony the Tiger Magnets there on the board because Shesterkin was great. With the 2-0 win, the Rangers go to 34-16-3 on the season. The Flames 25-23-5 with the loss. Their 4-game winning streak is snapped. But you know what? It was a good effort by them, and it was a very entertaining game. Shots on net, 11-6 New York in the first, 13-10 Calgary in the second, 11-10 Calgary in the third. The final shot's 31-30 for the Rangers. Power plays, Calgary 0-2, the Rangers 0-3. The hits, 27-24 for the Rangers. Markstrom saves 29 out of 30. He was fantastic. So was Shesterkin, who saved all 30 shots he faced. And so a shutout. Shesterkin's been needing to improve his numbers. Tonight's going to go a long way towards getting that done. All right, the last one on this board is Arizona and Philadelphia. And I started thinking to myself, watch this one, like, the Flyers going to have a down game? They did at parts, but in the end they pull it off. So it's Vejmelka versus Ersson. Net feed to Frost, near miss there. We get a power play for Arizona. There was a shorthanded chance for Cam York. That was held. Power play's killed off. Coyotes go back to the power play. Philadelphia kills that off as well. York has a shot that's held as the Flyers press. We get a power play for Philly. Does the power play suck? Yes, and that would be the case tonight. Shots are 4-2 for the Flyers at the half. Schmaltz has a net feed that's picked off. The Flyers press with 7 minutes left. Coyotes press are kept to the outside, and then a point shot through a screen ends up going in. It's Dumba from Dermott and Keller at 16:26. The Flyers press to close out the period, but it's 1-0 Arizona after the first. Second period, early jump for the Flyers. Things get pushed in a hole for Vejmelka. Flyers tie it, but it's an offside challenge, so that comes off the board. Then there's a penalty shot for Frost not long after, and he scores on it. He outweights Vejmelka and buries it at 4:23. So Morgan Frost with a penalty shot goal ties the game at 1. Coyotes press to respond. We get a power play for Philly. Does it suck? Well, it lasts 2 seconds. So I guess becomes 1:58, a 4-on-4. The referee is informed at this point that he sucks. It wasn't the last time he heard that tonight. Frost has a rush to save. There's a post for Tippett. And then Michelli would score to put Arizona ahead again. He scores from Mosier and Kesselring at 7:57. That's the first goal for Matthias in a while. We'll see if he can get on a bit of a run. But then the Coyotes go on the power play. That last 21 seconds becomes 4-on-4. During the 4-on-4, Philadelphia gets one. It's Konechny from Lawton at 9:55 on a 3-on-2 rush. Coyotes press to respond. McBain has a net drive that's blocked. And then Kerfoot puts Arizona back in the lead. He buries one in close. Zucker and Mosier with the assists at 14:02, making it 3-2 for the Coyotes. Power play for the Flyers. Does it suck? Yeah, it does. 43 seconds left. The Flyers get a power play. Does it suck? Rolls over into the third period, and yep, it does. This is something I've started because the Flyers power play has been frustrating me all season. So now I'm just to the point where I'm embracing it. Like, does it? Yeah, it still sucks. Anyways, so there you go. Shots are 4-0 for the Flyers at 5 minutes, so they're getting shots. And then Drysdale puts one in off Dumba's skate. He scores from Konechny at 6:12. That ties the game at 3. The Coyotes look to respond, but the Flyers press and they score. It's Lawton from Sanheim and Stahl at 10:21. So Mark Stahl with an assist tonight. Good for him. Flyers go to the power play. Does it suck? Well, yeah, they didn't score on that one either. Zucker has a rush chance that's caught and held. The goalie pull happens with 1:55 left, and at 18:39, Owen Tippett hits the empty net. Konechny and Couturier with the assists. Makes your final score 5-3. So the Flyers go to 29-19-6 on the season. For Arizona, they're 23-24-4. Shots on net, 7 apiece in the first, 14-10 Philadelphia in the second, 13-6 Philadelphia in the third. They outshoot Arizona 34-23. Power plays, Arizona 0 for 4. Philadelphia was 0 for 8. So that's why I've started this whole does it suck? Yep, it does. I kind of wish I had a magnet that I could use for all 8, but that'd be way too many magnets. Anyways, I don't even know what it would have on it. So anyways, the hits 19 to 18 for Arizona in this one. Vejmelka saved 29 out of 33. Ersson saved 20 out of 23 at the other end. And so Philadelphia stays hot. Arizona, again, it's a game where they should have at least had a point, and they don't. That's been a storyline for them through parts of this season, and it's probably cost them a chance to stay in the hunt for a playoff spot. But anyways, let's go ahead and change boards. And finally, we have Minnesota and Vegas. This was an entertaining game. It's the only game on. I considered reviewing the other 3 games, and I thought, nah, I'll just do it all as one video. So it's Gustafsson versus Hill. The start of this game was delayed by about 10 minutes because of Pietrangelo's 1,000th game ceremony. They gave him a gold stick. Most teams, it's a silver stick. I think teams need to start asking their team, or players need to start asking their teams, why can't I get a gold stick? Vegas gives out gold sticks. I want a gold one. Anyways, Marchessault would score from Raw at 22 seconds. It deflects in off Faber's stick. It's one of those fluke goals. And all I could think was, oh, here we go. Like, because Vegas has these games where they start scoring a bunch. Vegas looks for another. Rempel has a tip shot. That's held. Shots are 2-0 for Vegas, 3 minutes in. Boldy misses one high on a net drive. The Wild press at 4 minutes. Brisson has the slot shot. That's held. I'm glad to hear they're starting to say Brisson. That's how it's always been pronounced, but I've heard Brisson as well. That's why I was saying it. But anyways, Vegas announcers saying Brisson. Good. That's perfect. Ron Bjerg has a chance that deflects out. The shots are 5-0 Vegas at 6 minutes. So Minnesota got off to a slow start here. Gustafsson kind of bailing him out. Johansson's tonight is the Wild press. We get a power play from Minnesota. It becomes a minute and 19 seconds of 5-on-3 because of a sloppy line change. So Vegas had too many men on the ice. Boldy has a shot that's blocked out. McNabb takes a penalty while they're already down 5-on-3. So that penalty won't start until the other 5-on-3 penalty ends or there's a goal. Well, they score 5-on-3. It's a tic-tac-toe play. It's Zuccarello from Kaprizov and Hartman at 10:48. And the worst part was Wild Bill didn't have his stick, so it was 5-on-2.5 for the Minnesota Wild. There's a near miss for Boldy, and then just as the power play ends, it's a 5-on-5 goal. Eriksson Ek from Boldy and Kaprizov at 12:10. The Wild press for another now that they're up 2-1. Duhaime has a shot that deflects out. The shots are 13-5 Minnesota with 5 minutes left. So after that slow start, it's all Minnesota. Vegas, remember, was up 5-0 in shots 6 minutes in. Now it's 13-5 for the Wild. Remembering they do audit the shots currently, like constantly during games now. That's why shot totals fluctuate wildly now. Which makes sense. It's a Wild game, right? So 3:39 left. Vegas draws a power play and they score on a good cycle. 17:45. It's Amadio from Pietrangelo and Brisson. So Pietrangelo, he gets himself an assist in game 1000. And it's buried from the slot by Amadio. Faber then blocks out a Brisson shot, so it stays 2-2, and that's our score after 1. Second period, Kaprizov has a rush chance. That's held. There's a shoulder save on a Carlson net drive. We get a power play for Vegas. They cycle. Net feed's picked off by Johansson. Hartman clears out the next one. Pietrangelo with a near miss. It's cleared out. It's killed off. Shots are 4-1 for Vegas at 5.5 minutes, but they started really well in the other period too, right? Pushy on a hold by Hill. Wild press at 6 minutes, but Vegas blocks really well. Vegas goes back to the power play. That's killed off. One shot during that power play. There's a press by the Wild after that kill is done. Vegas blocks. They clear. Bogosian has a shot blocked as well. Merrill has a shot that's tipped wide, and Vegas just not giving them any looks at the net and Aiden Hill in this period. Teams exchange turnovers. Barbashev to Miromanov's a near miss. The Knights press after that's done. Shots are 6-3 for Vegas with 6 minutes left. Kolasar has a rush chance saved. Martinez has a shot that's kicked aside. 3:20 left. We get a power play for Vegas. There's an early clear. Vegas sets up. They cycle. It's cleared again, and it's killed off. Vegas had the last 9 shots of the second period. So again, Gustafsson at times tonight was kind of the difference for Minnesota and managed to hold Vegas to just the 1 goal early when they were, dominating. And in that second period, where it was kind of sleepy for Minnesota in the second half, he kept it tied. Third period, Whitecloud has a shot saved. Good flow for the first few minutes of that third period. Then there's a delay game call, gives Vegas a power play. They cycle. Stone has a chance that's held. Raw has a backhand saved. Power plays killed off 4 shots. Out of their 5 power plays, Vegas had 12 shots on net. They ended up with 30, so that's almost half of their shots were on the power play tonight. So Rossi would score at 6:28. He buries a loose puck after a failed clear by Vegas. Boldy and Faber with the assists on the Rossi goal. The Wildland look for another, and they get it. Boldy banks one in off Hill after Hill could not handle the puck a few seconds earlier, and it gets over in the corner, and Boldy banks it in off him. Hartman and Faber with the assists at 7:29. So Brock Faber with a couple of helpers tonight. Kaprizov has a shot that saved us. The Wild are looking for another. But against the flow of play, this is a Vegas thing. It's been a Vegas thing their entire existence. Stone gets one from White Cloud at 9:38, just out of nowhere. Wires it from the right face-off circle. I didn't think that one was going to go in, and then when it did, back in my mind, I thought this is where Vegas starts their comeback. Carlson then has a net drive that's saved. Boldy has a backhand that's held. Shots are 9-5 for the Wild with 6.5 minutes left. The shots would even up before the period was out. Kaprizov's denied. Vegas rushes the other way. Things get pushy on a hold by Gustafsson. The goalie pull happens with 2:35 left. Marchessault has a shot that's blocked. Pietrangelo has one that's tipped wide. The Wild failed to clear. Marchessault then has a chance that's held. So again, that's where Gustafsson's earning his pay. 56.6 seconds left. Vegas calls a timeout. Stevenson has a shot that's blocked. And then at 19:38, Eriksson Ek hits the empty net. And your final score is 5-3 for the Minnesota Wild. They go to 24, 23, and 5. Yep, back above NHL 500. For Vegas, 31, 16, and 6. And they stay, I believe it's 8 points behind Vancouver for first in the division. So Minnesota doing Vancouver a solid tonight. Shots on net, 14-6 Minnesota in the first, 14-4 Vegas in the second, 11-10 Minnesota in the third. Final shots, 30-29 for the Golden Knights. Power plays, Minnesota 1 for 3, Vegas 1 for 5. The hits, 21-13 for Minnesota. So what's interesting with Minnesota's 3 power plays, they were all tied to one another. You have the double 5-on-3. So yeah, all those power plays were tied to each other. Gustafsson saves 27 out of 30. Aiden Hill saves 24 out of 28 at the other end. And there you go. You're all done for Monday. Tuesday's a much busier night. It's 11 games. Oddly, though, they're all on at the same time for a little while. There's no games really late, so I'll have already had the review done and be done for the day at this time tomorrow, even though there's 11 games, and there are only 4 tonight. Anyways, there you go. Let me know your thoughts regarding these games in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event that you haven't done so already. I forgive you. Just fix it. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.